Can I do
Okay.
Okay, I can't see you.
Oh my goodness.
Last week you had it up.
Now we can.
Okay.
Wait, did you say you couldn't see me?
Now I can see you. Before I could just see Sherry.
Oh, okay, strange. Hold
Well,
on.
I'm gonna stop my video so you won't see me.
I just want to see. We have lots of batteries, so I'm going to move you guys up anyway. It's when they turn, they get dizzy, though. That's when I have to be careful.
Okay, all good. Okay,
Good.
I'm gonna me.
I had a lump there.
You.
Let me just move this over. I don't think so. There are more people in the class, but I think, this is it. All right, guys, coming into your comfortable cross-legged position. I think on this cold day, this hip opening practice is going to be really nice. Just moving a little slower, grounding ourselves, getting deep in those hips. So as usual, just taking a moment to come center. We'll take the hands into the lap, palms facing up. Taking a few grounding breaths here. And as you sit here breathing, imagine really pulling that breath into the hips with every exhale. Letting it settle there. Maybe bringing a little bit more space or openness into the hips. Start to deepen that breath. And we'll take one more breath here as a group, inhaling deeply. And exhaling completely. And opening the eyes. We'll flip those hands over here and we'll just start to take some gentle movement in the body by rolling back the shoulders. As you do this, making sure you're sitting up nice and tall, really planting through the seat bones, lengthening them through the spine. And then let's hold those shoulders up to the ears just for a moment. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, we'll lower the shoulders away. Taking attention to that left shoulder, we're going to draw just the left shoulder to the back of the room. And releasing it. Repeating that, drawing it back. And releasing. And one more time. And releasing. Other side, that right shoulder back. And releasing. Repeating that. And releasing. And one more time. And releasing. Taking both shoulders back, really knitting those shoulder blades together, even lengthening that chest up to the sky. You can arch a little bit in that back. Deep breath in here. And on the exhale, softening through the spine. Beautiful. Taking that attention back to that left shoulder, we'll draw that shoulder forward. And releasing. Taking it forward again. And releasing. And one more time. And releasing. Opposite shoulder forward. And release. Repeating. And release. And one last time. And releasing. We'll draw both shoulders forward and together, holding here. If you like, you can take a deep breath in on the exhale, dropping the chin to the chest. And then another breath in, again on the exhale, just thinking about all or any stress in the neck, just melting down the spine. And we'll lift that head now and circle those shoulders down. We're gonna move into a twist on the left. So we're gonna draw that left shoulder to the back of the room. And then thinking about moving from the base of the spine, we'll continue to twist over to the left. So isolating the body a little bit, shoulder first, then base of spine. And releasing. Taking that to the other side, right shoulder back, then twisting deep from the spine. And releasing. We'll activate the core now so that we can get a little deeper in that twist, lift the belly. You can even lift the pelvic floor here. And then we'll draw that left shoulder to the back of the room and twist to the left. And releasing with your next exhale. Drawing that right shoulder back, lifting the belly. I forgot that. We're going to lift the belly, lift the pelvic floor, and then twisting to our right. And releasing. Nice. Let's take the sole of that right foot to the earth. And we're going to flex the foot here. Hands can be at the shin, on either side of the hips here, just fingertips lightly resting on the earth, or behind you, hands planted into the earth, fingertips away. Whichever option you take, just making sure you want to have that spine nice and tall here. Nice. And really think about digging into the earth through that heel. It's going to stay planted, but you're going to energetically draw it in towards the body, strengthening the hamstrings here. A little work for that hip flexor too. Yeah. And then we'll plant the sole of that right foot into the earth. From here, we'll imagine the center line of our body and we'll draw that knee to the center line, rolling on the inner edge of that foot. Holding here, it takes a little bit of work, so a little bit of muscle. And then we'll drop that knee out to the side. Take a deep breath in. Inhale that right arm up alongside the ear. On the exhale, we'll float it down right in front of us. Then we'll take that right leg to the arm here. I'm going to really push into the leg with that arm. Inhale to lengthen through that spine. On the exhale, twisting to the left here. You can look over that left shoulder as well. A little stretch for the neck. And a couple of deep breaths. In this position, we're using that upper body strength to help us with the rotation. And then coming center. Let's float that right arm up alongside the ear, flipping the palm away from you, and then we're going to float that arm down. Deep breath in, arm comes back up, and exhaling it down. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling, this time we'll hold the arm up on the exhale, nice. Drop that right shoulder away from the ear, beautiful. From here, we're gonna reach down the back. Half Gomukhasana, holding here for a moment. And then reaching up for the sky again. Let's see if we can get a little bit more length in that right side of the body. This time, let your shoulder come up for that length. And then reaching down the back again. We'll reach up to the sky again this last time. And then reaching down, holding a couple breaths here. And from here, taking that right hand to the sternum. And then to that left shoulder. From here, we're gonna sweep the arm around the head, just working on shoulder mobility here. And see if you can take it maybe a little slower than usual so we can get sort of full range of motion. A few more times. Our yoga practice is, it's working, it's warming me up. And the next time, That right hand comes around. We're going to land it at that left shoulder and then twist over to the left. Again, looking over the left shoulder. And returning center, releasing that right arm at your side. We're going to roll onto that left hip, creating a little space between that right seat bone and the earth here. From here, see if you can round through the spine. So tilt that pelvis forward. We're going to allow those shoulders to drop forward, even chin to chest for a moment. And then we're going to float that right arm alongside the ear. Reach out over that left knee as far as possible and plant the hand into the earth and hold here for a couple of breaths. Stay with that hand plant, both hands planted into the earth, but see if you can energetically draw that right seat bone towards the mat, helping get a little deeper in that right hip. With your next breath, we'll draw that right seat bone down towards the earth, staying rounded as you do, and then rolling up to sit up nice and tall. Nice. We're going to extend the legs out in a wide angle and grab your blocks here. If you don't have blocks, you can certainly work with your hands on the earth instead. Feet are nice and flexed here. We're really working the toes towards the shins, back of the legs planted into the earth here. And then from here, we'll take some slow cat-cows. So again, tilting the pelvis forward, rounding through the spine. Think about sending that spine to the back of the room. And then chin to chest, holding here as you breathe. And moving into our cow, we're going to tilt that pelvis back, arch the spine, lift the chest to the sky, gaze follows. A couple of deep breaths. Keep those shoulders down. And rounding into our cat again. And coming into our cow. And finding neutral spine, so letting the spine fall naturally, still keeping those legs nice and strong here. And we're just going to work through the hands a little bit. So we'll come onto the heels of the hands, spreading those fingers nice and wide. Nice. Then we'll ground down through the hands, come onto the ball mounts of the hands, and then push into the fingertips. Good. And we'll repeat that, planting the hands. We'll take the weight into the heels of the hands, ground the hands, come onto the ball mounts, and then the fingertips. And again, heel of the hands, then grounding the hands, coming onto the ball mounts of the hands, and then fingertips. And maybe this time, let's draw those fingers together, holding here like we're gonna pick up something. And we'll flick open the hands and floating them back down. We'll grab onto our blocks here and really get a tight grip here. We're gonna pull those blocks up towards us. And then releasing them back down. We'll do that again, trying to keep those elbows tight in towards the body. The next time you pull those blocks up, holding there for a moment, and then draw the heels of the hands closer to the block. So I have to use my upper body strength to push in. I'm also dropping my shoulders down the back, holding here. And releasing, nice. We'll draw those legs together, feet in line with the hips here. Let me go this way. And from here, I'm gonna release down on that right forearm, just holding there for a moment, getting that spinal rotation that happens here, just holding. And then we're gonna release onto that left forearm. Take a moment to puff up the chest here. And then releasing down, we'll come back onto that right hand and then the left lifting up. Let's do that again, releasing down on the forearm, holding a moment. And then the other forearm. And then coming up. And this time we'll release to hold. Again, pushing into the forearm so we're not sinking in those shoulders. I'm going to ground down through that left leg, flex that left foot, and then I'm going to drag that right heel in towards the seat. Again, I'm dragging it to strengthen that hamstring. Knee into chest here. Nice. I'll drop that knee out to the side, my supine pigeon. Extend the leg up to the sky and slowly lower. As you're lowering, you're thinking about really reaching out of the hips so that maybe that right foot even is a little bit beyond the left foot. And we'll do that again, dragging that heel in, knee into chest, dropping that knee out to the side, extending the leg up to the sky, and slowly lowering. And dragging that heel in, knee into the chest, drop it out to the side, extend the leg up to the sky, and slowly lower. Nice. This is a subtle movement. We might just be moving energetically. Are you okay? Okay. We're going to tilt that pelvis forward. And then starting at the base of the spine, we'll roll down onto the back vertebrae by vertebrae. Make sure you have a block nearby. Arms at your side, palms planted into the mat here. We're going to still do that leg lift one more time here. So we'll drag that right heel in towards the seat. Take the knee into the chest. Release the knee out to the side. And then we're going to take that right ankle to the left thigh. From here, dropping that right knee out to the side. It's a supine, like tree variation. We can take that block underneath that right thigh, opening up through that right hip. So long as your right knee feels nice and healthy and not in any sort of pain, you can think about drawing that outer edge of that right thigh down towards the earth, maybe more closely onto your block. Important to keep that left leg nice and strong, that foot flexed. And if it's hard to keep the foot at the thigh, you can move it down to the calf here. Either option, the same work is being done in the hip here. As you hold this, deep breaths, feeling it travel up and down the body. And then we're gonna drag the left heel in towards the seat. We'll plant that left foot in towards the mat, then take that left knee in towards the chest, coming into this figure four. If you like, you can grab onto the back of that left thigh. Remember to flex those feet, both of them nice. And keeping our feet flexed like that, it is strengthening the ankles, which helps us with our balance later on in the practice. And from here, we're going to float that left foot back down to the mat. Now, this is a little funny. Just listen to the cues. We're going to keep that right ankle at the left thigh. It doesn't move. We'll draw that left arm up alongside the ear, and then we're going to roll onto the left side body. That right foot is grounded down into the earth here. We're going to keep it along the earth as we extend that right leg. Then sweep that right leg down and stack the legs one on top of each other. Deep breath in here and exhale it out. And we'll walk the torso back up, coming right back into Sukhasana, our comfortable cross-legged position. Opposite leg in front this time, so we can take that sequence on the other side. Sole of left foot into the earth here. Coming sit up nice and tall on those seat bones, hands at shin on either side of the hips or planted in the earth, nice long spine. And then we'll flex that foot, dig the heel into the earth, and then energetically pull it in towards you. And releasing that foot back onto the earth. Imagine the center line, drawing that knee to the center line, rolling a little bit on the inner edge of that foot. Left leg this time. Yeah. See, the body knows, it will tell you.
Oh, we did that.
And we'll drop that knee out to the side. From here, inhaling that left arm up. On the exhale, we'll float it down. And we'll draw the knee towards the arm. Push the arm into that left thigh and rotate over to the right here, looking over that right shoulder. Nice. Deep breath in here. On the exhale, coming center. We'll float that left arm up alongside the ear, flip the palm away and float the arm down. Sinking breath and movement, inhaling the arm up and exhaling it down. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling, this time we'll hold up here as we exhale. And then reaching down the back. Nice. We'll reach up for the sky again, get a little bit more length on that left side of the body. And then reaching down the back. And one more time, reaching up for the sky. Lovely. And then down the back, holding a couple of breaths here. And we'll take that left hand to the sternum and then to that right shoulder and sweeping the arm around the head. Nice and slow, feeling your way through this movement. And the next time that left hand comes to the right shoulder, we'll move into a twist to the right. And returning center, releasing that left arm at your side. Roll onto that right hip here. We're gonna round through the spine, so tilt the pelvis forward. We can drop chin to chest here. And then we'll take that left arm out alongside the ear. Reach as far forward as you can over that right knee and then plant the hand. From here, our hands, the right leg stays planted into the earth as we try to energetically draw that left seat bone towards the mat. Nice big stretch in the back here. Deep breaths, feeling that breath travel up and down the back. Top of every inhale, feeling that expansion across the back. With your next breath, we'll pull that left seat bone down into the earth. Stay rounded, and then rolling up, vertebrae at a time. Arms on either side of you. We'll extend those legs long again. Hands at the earth or your block here. And we're going to, again, take a little bend in the knees and plant those heels into the earth. Keep them planted, but energetically draw them in, continuing to strengthen the hamstrings. And then extend the legs long. And we'll do that again. Bend at the knees here. Plant those heels, energetically draw them in. And extend long. And one last time here, bending those knees. And extending long. Let's draw the feet in line with the hips here. And we're gonna come down on that left forearm, holding there for a moment. Coming down on the right. We'll push down on the forearms, lifting the chest up to the sky. And then finding neutral, we'll come back up on that left hand and then the right. And we'll do that again, releasing onto the left forearm, then the right. Coming back up, left hand and right. And one last time, releasing down on the forearms, holding here. Planting those forearms into the earth, really lifting out the shoulders, nice. From here, we're going to drag that left heel in towards the seat. Then knee to chest, releasing that knee out to the side, extending the leg up to the sky, and slowly lowering. Thank you for that. We'll drag that heel in again, knee to chest, drop that knee out to the side, extend the leg up to the sky, and lower. And again, dragging that heel in, knee to chest, release the knee out to the side, extend up to the sky, and lower. Making sure we have our blocks nearby, at least one. And then we're gonna tilt that pelvis forward and then starting at the base of that spine, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you're lying down, plant the palms of the hands into the earth here. We'll draw that left heel against the earth again. Then knee to chest, drop that knee out to the side. And then we're gonna take that left ankle to the calf or the thigh, coming into your supine tree, using that block for support underneath that left thigh. You can keep the hands grounded into the earth, or if you want to invoke more openness, you can turn your palms up to the sky. Couple of breaths here. Imagine pulling that breath through the sole of that right foot. It travels all the way to the crown of the head. On the exhale from the crown of the head, down the body and out the foot. And from here, we'll carefully take that block out from underneath the leg. Then draw that right heel in towards the seat. Plant that foot into the earth and then draw that right knee in towards the chest, holding on, if you like, to the back of that right thigh. As we pull that knee in towards the chest, we start to round through the lower part of the spine. See if you can resist that and sort of unfurl that lower part of the spine, the sacrum area, down onto the mat, getting a deeper hip stretch. And we're going to plant that right foot into the mat. We'll keep that left ankle at that right thigh. Draw that right arm up alongside the ear, and then we're going to roll onto the right side body, planting that left foot into the earth here, holding here, hanging out here for a moment. And then from there, we'll keep that left foot on the ground as we kick it out in front of us. And then sweep it down and stack the legs again. Nice. Deep breath in, exhale it out, and walking yourself back up, coming to Sukhasana. We'll just take a breath here. Let's inhale the arms up nice and slow. We'll take prayer on the exhale, take it to heart center. And making your way into your child's pose. I'm going to take my knees nice and wide so I can continue to work in the hips here. And we'll make this child's pose a little more active than we usually do. So we're going to press into the palms of our hands here. You can look up for a moment, lengthening through that spine. And then deep breath in. And as you exhale, continue to press into the hands so that you shoot the hips down and towards the heels. Deep breaths here, holding this child's pose. And then we'll make our way up onto all fours. Walk those knees underneath the hips. We'll tuck those toes and come up into our down dog. Spread those fingers wide, press down into the ball mount so we're not jamming the wrist there. And then a bend at the knees. We'll walk our hands to the feet, coming in to our forward bend. Let the head hang heavy here. Give yourself a moment just to find effortlessness in your practice. So we are just hanging out here for a moment. Arms are dangling, head is heavy. A couple of breaths. And then bending at the knees, we'll take the hands to the calves to lengthen through the spine here. Finding our flat back, really lengthening the spine away from the hips or out of the hips here. And then we'll take a little bend at that left knee, keeping the right leg straight. And then straightening that left leg, bending the right knee just back and forth a few times. Bringing that movement to the hips. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, releasing back down into your forward bend. To come up, we'll take a deep bend at the knees, draw the tailbone to the earth and rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Head is the last thing to lift. And we'll just roll back the shoulders here. Nice. We'll take a little wider stance here. And then we're just going to work through the feet a little bit, maybe taking the feet a little bit wider than the hips too. Hands at the hips here, and we'll just roll through the feet a little bit. If you like, you can come to balance on the balls of the feet. If you like, strengthening through those ankles. My first one, it was a little rocky. Yours maybe too, that's okay. And then planting those heels, rolling back and forth a little bit. And again, exploring that balance whenever you feel like it. Remember to activate the core, right? That's going to give us a sense of lightness. Help us a little bit with our alignment as well as we take that balance. Nice. We'll plant those heels now. We're going to roll onto the outer edge of the feet and then on the inner edge. Just back and forth here. And then grounding the feet. I'll step that left foot forward. And I'm going to roll onto the outer edge of that left foot, just bending that knee, holding here. Straightening that right leg, really drawing the heel in towards the earth. Nice. Then ground that left foot. And then we'll turn the toes of that left foot out, so over to the left here. Nice, holding here again, a little bend at that knee. And coming back center with the toes. And let's do that again, taking the toes over to the left. and bringing it center. Soft bend at the knees, and we'll step that left foot back beside the right. Taking that on the other side, I'm going to back up so you guys can see a little bit better over there and from home. We're going to step that left foot forward now, keeping that stepping our right foot forward, keeping that left leg nice and strong, and then rolling onto the outer edge of that right foot. Little bend at that right knee. So bend at that right knee, but keep that left leg strong. It's looking good. And then we'll ground the sole of that right foot. From here, turning the right toes out, so over to the right. Good. And then draw the toes in line with the heel again. And we'll repeat that, taking the toes over to the right. And then in line with the heel again. Nice. Little bend at both knees and step that right foot back beside the left. Nice. From here, we're going to come onto the ball of that right foot and spiral the right heel over to the right and then ground the foot. So sorry guys, I think I wanted to do, I can't remember the, oh, then we have to turn those toes out. Side bend. Hold on 1 second, little check here. Heels, toes in perpendicular. You know what? We'll just take a wider stance here. And we're going to take a bend at that right knee, coming into our side bend here. Nice. Holding here for a couple of breaths. We can straighten that right leg again, and then exhale back down to that side bend. Inhaling and exhaling and inhaling and exhaling. Nice. Coming back center, we'll take that side bend to the other side. So bending that left knee and coming back up and bending the left knee and back up. And one last time. And back up. Nice. Little bend at the knees here. Let's walk the feet underneath the hips. Grabbing our blocks, we'll take them to the front of our mat. Starting with my feet underneath my hips here. And I'm going to step that left foot back. Legs are nice and strong. Toes are facing the front of your mat or the front of the room. From here, taking a deep breath in. On the exhale, just slightly lowering the torso, not too far yet. Keeping length in the legs, length in the spine. And then if you want to go a little deeper, we'll release into a flat back, taking the hands to your blocks here, our Parsvottanasana stance. If you want to take it a little bit further, draping the spine over that front leg. Letting that head hang heavy, deep breaths here. And with your next breath, pushing into the soles of feet to come to that flat back again. And then taking the hands to the hips and coming to stand tall. Nice. We'll step that left foot beside the right. Stepping that right foot back, taking our Parsvottanasana stance. Nice strong legs. Inhaling to get that length in the spine. On the exhale, bending from the hips. Just take it nice and slow in segments. If you feel comfortable, going into your flat back, taking the hands to the blocks here. Take a moment to lengthen away from the hips. And then if you like, releasing over that front leg. Deep breaths here. Big hamstring stretch. Trying to drop that right hip in line with the left. How do we do that? We do that by pushing into the sole of the right foot. Couple more breaths. And we want to use those quads to help lift us, right? So we push down into the soles of the feet, floating the hands down up to the hips, and then coming to stand tall. Stepping that back leg besides the right, arms at your sides. Let's inhale those arms up towards the sky, taking prayer. On the exhale, we'll take it to heart center. If you like, closing the eyes just for a moment. Coming into some stillness and reconnecting to your breath. And releasing the arms at your sides. We're gonna find some wall space. Let's all take the same wall. Do you guys prefer padded or mirror? Padded? Okay. So we'll all come to stand over there. You guys, close your eyes for a moment. You're gonna come moving. I'll let you know when it's over. Okay. I'm gonna stay here. Okay, guys, so you're gonna have my back to you. I'm sorry about that, but I think it's the best angle for everybody here. So we're gonna start with our hands at the wall, the hands in line with the shoulders here. We're about a foot away from the wall, and the feet, of course, are underneath the hips here. From here, we're gonna step that left foot back, finding our Parsvottanasana stance, spine nice and long. And then we can start to release the torso forward. Maybe we take those forearms to or towards the wall. With the next breath, we're gonna lift the torso back up, take a bend at that right knee, and then step that left foot back into our lunge. As we do that, we're gonna drag the hands down in line with the shoulders. From here, we want to use that upper body strength. So we're pushing against the wall, trying to drop that back knee to the earth. Holding here for a moment. Then we're going to turn the right toes over to the right. Option to stay like that, or we'll reach that right arm for the center of the room, coming into a twist here. And then we'll take that right hand back to the wall, toes to face that wall. We're going to spiral that back heel down. Nice, so toes are going to face over to the left. Then we're going to take that front foot so it's perpendicular, so it's parallel to the back foot, and keep a bend at that right knee. Side lunge here, reach that left arm in towards the center of the room. Nice. Take that left hand back to the wall. Right toes come to face the wall. We come onto the ball of that back foot, returning to our lunge. Deep breath in. On the exhale, see if you can sink a little deeper into it. And then step that left foot beside the right. Nice. We're going to take that on the other side. So I hope you're feeling how deeply that gets us in our hips with all that turning this way and that. We're going to do this a few more times. This time, stepping that right foot back. We're coming into our Parsvottanasana stance. Long spine on the inhale, on the exhale, dropping that torso down, coming to that flat back. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. And we'll lift the torso back up, take a bend at that front knee, and we'll step that right foot back into our lunge. As we do so, we drag those hands down in line with the shoulders. Then we're pushing into the wall to drop that heel back. Feeling that nice long stretch for that right hip flexor here. And then we're going to turn the toes out to the left, holding here for a moment, reaching that left arm in towards the center of the room. We'll take that left hand back to the wall, toes of that left foot to face the wall. Then we're going to spiral that back heel down. And we'll take that front foot so it's parallel to the back foot, that bend in that left knee. And we'll reach that right arm for the center of the room. Take that right hand to the wall again. Left toes face that wall, come onto the ball of that back foot. Sinking back into your lunge. And then stepping the right beside the left. Nice. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. We're going to do that again, stepping that left foot back. Coming into that Parsvottanasana. Lengthening that torso, finding your flat back here. Deep breath in. And exhale it out. And walking the torso back up. We'll step that left foot back into our lunge. Drag those hands down on the shoulders, to the shoulders, push into the wall. And then we're going to turn those right toes out and reach that right arm for the center of the room. We'll take that right hand to the wall again, right toes to face the wall. We'll spiral that back heel down, turn that front foot so it's parallel to the back side lunge here. Again, take a moment to push into the wall. We're not pushing our weight into that left side leg, but what we are doing when we push in the wall is getting some length in those left ribs. And then we'll reach that left arm in towards the center of the room. Left hand returns to the wall. We'll turn the toes of that front foot towards the wall. Return to our lunge here. Deep breath in on the exhale, sinking deep into it. And stepping the left foot beside the right. Moving right into our other side, stepping that right foot back. Parsvottanasana stance, lengthen the spine. On the exhale, releasing the spine down or the torso down. A couple of breaths here. And walking the torso up. Coming onto the ball of that back foot and then stepping into our lunge. Take the hands in line with the shoulders, pushing into the wall. From here, we'll turn those left toes out and reach that left arm in for the center of the room. And we'll take that left hand to the wall, toes to face the wall again. Then we'll spiral that back heel down. That front foot is parallel to that back foot. Holding here for a moment, taking those right ribs in towards the center of the room by pushing into the wall. And then reaching that right arm into the center. Returning that right hand to the wall. Toes of that front foot face the wall, returning into your lunge. Deep breath in. On the exhale, sinking deep. And then stepping that right foot beside the left. Nice, beautiful. Let's take a moment just to turn our backs to the walls here. We'll walk those feet slightly away here. Keep that back glued to the wall. And then we'll take a bend at the knees here. Knees right over the ankles. And I'm just going to float my arms up. And just hold here. If it feels okay, you can take them alongside the ears. They're probably not going to touch the wall. Mine are not. But I'm reaching up for the sky here, making sure my back is glued into the wall. Really pushing into the soles of feet. You feel how those quads are activated, supporting you here. And then we'll float those arms down and come to stand tall. We're going to turn in to face the wall. I'm going to face out just because so you guys can see. Feet underneath the hips here, holding onto your wall. And I'm going to take a bend at that right knee. And then I'll take my left ankle to that right thigh and sink the hips down. Holding here a couple of breaths. We're shooting those hips back towards the center of the room here. You might need a little bit more space away from the wall. If you do, make any adjustments you need so that you're feeling this stretch in the hips. And then coming to stand tall. And we'll take that on the other side. Getting into it at your own time. Nice, beautiful. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, can you sink a little deeper? Lovely, nice balance over there. Couple more breaths. And releasing. Lovely. We'll make our way back to our mats now. Close the eyes, Diane. Okay. Already at the end of our practice. I know. We're going to come in to our Shavasana. Would you, yeah, you did? Nice, good, good. Free to take any Shavasana you like, traditional with the legs extended. Or if you want to continue opening up those hips, we'll take Supta Baddha Konasana, the soles of the feet together. Using your blocks if you like, underneath the thighs. Bob earlier had his back on his bolster. You could do that as well with Supta Baddha Konasana, scooching your seat to that bolster, then draping the spine down on top of it, and taking the soles of the feet together. Taking the option for you that feels most comfortable. That's going to bring you the most sense of relaxation and peace. And for the next few minutes, you have one responsibility and one responsibility only. It is to relax, to allow your body to absorb the strengthening and stretching that you just did. Feel the earth beneath you. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, let the earth support you. And starting to awaken the body. Bring some gentle movement into fingers and toes. And when you're ready, you can make your way up into your comfortable cross-legged position. And we'll take the hands to the heart here. Take a moment to scan the body to see if you can find places within where you've created a little bit of light or space or a little rumble of energy. Acknowledging those sensations. And then we'll take one last breath together as a group. Inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. Thank you for joining me in practice. Namaste. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Next week, heart opening, some back bends, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Elizabeth got a little, you got a sense of it on Wednesday. So it's a strong practice, slow, but strong.
Okay.
Bye.
Have a good weekend. Thank you.
too. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
I won't see you again, guys, probably only once because I'm only doing Wednesdays.
You're just doing Wednesdays. Yeah, we just do Fridays.